I just got done watching It, Welcome to Derry, episode 7. And goodness gracious, this is my second best episode. My second best episode. Good Lord. Good Lord. But let's have a talk about Mrs. Irvin Kirsch. Is it Irvin? Ingrid. I think it's Ingrid Kirsch. This lady, Kirsch. Basically, the original Pennywise's daughter. This lady's cooked.
Damn.
She's absolutely cooked. No wonder she works at freaking Juniper Hill. She's absolutely cooked. I'm trying to figure out if she's been orchestrating a lot of things since day one. Like when she got with the brother, I can't remember his name, when she started having an affair with the brother. Since the first day, she let Pennywise eat that child, and then she opened it. Well, she tried to open the door, right? But it didn't look like the door was she didn't open it. Or she looked like she was trying to open it, and then she said it was locked. After Pennywise finished eating the child, and she saw all that pool of blood, after he realized that she recognizes him as her father, he then used that to his advantage to coerce her to open the door. Then she opened the door. I was like, yeah, since then I was like, yeah, you've been cooked.
That's right.
There's no redemption arc for her. I couldn't care less. I don't feel sorry. I get the trauma of losing her dad and not knowing what happened to her father, and all she saw was a little handkerchief with the blood on it. That trauma is real. I get that trauma. But anything else after that, meaning you're luring children to this being or person that looks like your dad, but is not your dad, because your dad never displayed any signs of eating children or eating human beings. He wasn't a cannibal. So unless they ate children doing that carnival tour, or the father ate flesh, human beings and whatnot, then maybe that would make some weird sense. But there was no ever mention of the father being into human flesh. Since that episode and that reveal, I've always disliked the character. Then the fact that she tipped off the police officer or the ex-officer, causing the other men to come to the black spot to do this whole... Nah, she's written off, man. I don't even... Whatever she gets, it better be very, very painful.
That's right.
It better be very, very, very painful. This bitch is the bitch of all bitches.
Damn.
Hello, Stanley.
What are you doing? What the hell are you wearing?
This is me, Stanley. This is who I really am.
Black and blue is what you're gonna be if you don't get back to the house and wipe this ridiculous crap off your face.
Hello, Papa.
Even this, dude, do you know how sick your mind has to be? Like it's completely broken. No wonder she works at Juniper Hill. She fits right. She's right at home. She fits there. I wonder if people even did any form of evaluation on her psychology. Or you could say she was masking very well. I'm not saying masking is a bad thing, but whatever. She didn't display any sign of fragmenting or fractured mind or broken mind. To lure children, just because the children are there and maybe the parents don't care anymore, or, oh my gosh, the amount of pain and suffering those children would have gone through. Nightmares just to sweeten their flesh with more fear from Pennywise. To see the way Pennywise or it devoured that small child in the flashback, and for her mind to, maybe you could argue her mind was trying to comprehend the whole scenario, but how would you still see that thing as your father? Looks like your dad, sounds like your dad, but your father's never been interested in eating flesh. I mean, human beings. Come on, man.
What?
This was so satisfying.
Who the hell are you?
Damn.
Fatality.
She can see this.
Yes.
I don't even know how many times she's witnessed Pennywise eat a child. Like I imagine she's been giving him children. So how many times has she seen it that she didn't even break out of the breaking? Is this one particular scene in this episode? I was like, oh, so is now you're coming to a realization? You incompetent fool.
Damn.
Wicked bitch.
Damn.
Bitch of all bitches.
Damn.
Wicked Witch of the West doesn't even come close to this one.
That escalated quickly.
You jumped up a notch.
Talking about, oh, she was traumatized because she lost her father. Dude, you're killing children, man. You're complicit. You're bringing innocent children who I bet all ended up in Juniper Hill due to Pennywise freaking scaring the crap out of them, showing them visions, showing them nightmares. And Pennywise all this is step by step. It knows what it's doing.
Yes.
Constantly doing all these nefarious things, dark, painful things, causing them trauma. Juniper Hill must have been fully booked. I'm surprised that they didn't turn the whole freaking ground and have 5 Juniper Hills on one location. And the tag team, or not even tag team, because I don't want to make it sound like it was an intentional tag team, but the coordinated attack scared the children, frightened the children. Children tell their parents, "I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. There's a clown in the sewers." They're telling the truth, but because the parents' minds are all glazed and who believes a child and it sounds outlandish, or they're not even happy at school anymore. Only for this heifer, this complete utter bitch,
Wait a minute!
to be the one coercing the children and taking them down every night to go and feed Pennywise. This bitch. I couldn't care less about the trauma. After that trauma thing of losing your dad, something snapped in her mind, and since then I was like, yep, I write you off, because it's a maniacal thing to do, man. Look at her face.
They would come if they thought that he was here, and there would be blood and pain.
You see, you know what you're doing. You know what blood, pain, and fear. You know what you're doing.
I knew they would come if they thought that he was here, and there would be blood and pain and fear.
This bitch,
I knew that you
and she's watching this thing feed on a human head. He's eating it like it's eating a fat burger, or like a huge chunk of turkey or chicken or beef. And she's still monologuing.
be able to resist it, and you would come back, and you would tell me that I was good.
Yeah, you twisted. You gone. She's finished. She's finished, completely cooked.
Papa.
This is just a moment.
I get it. You've lost your dad and you haven't healed since then. There was no closure. I get it. And now she's crying. This is all she's wanted since that day. Fine, but still, my guy, you are a villain.
You ain't lying.
I thought there were 2 villains in this show, but there's 3. Pennywise, her, and the general. This bitch though. This bitch. Wicked Witch of the West. She can rest in peace now. This motherfucker here.
Oh, Papa, I love you.
You did good. You did very, very good.
I wonder if he understands the context of good. Like, I guess he's been on Earth so long, he understands nuance and whatnot, I guess. And besides, he's not a 3rd dimensional entity, is he? He's a 4th or 5th dimensional entity. So he'll be able to grasp English language or any other language to its fullest. He's probably one of those entities, or it is probably one of those entities that if wherever it ended up in the world, Japan, China, it would be able to master the language in no time. I assume it has to be an intelligent entity as well, right?
That's a good question.
Like if it chose to go to school and didn't choose to kill, it would ace every subject. This entity wouldn't come out with B's and C's. It'll be A pluses. It would ace its university studies, PhD, masters, surely, right? Or am I wrong? Because an entity that's not on this 3rd dimensional plane would have a level of intelligence that the human mind wouldn't be able to fathom or grasp. So even all this giggle and laughter and the way it's talking is like it's doing all this. It's like it's acting. It's playing a role and it understands I have to do this to appease this little thing. It doesn't have to. My bad. Now I shouldn't use the word have to. It's choosing to because it can. Doesn't have to, but it can.
Now I'm going to sleep.
Love the glow eyes, man. Skarsgård really did a great job because its mouth, the mannerisms, with the pause he takes each time or certain times when he speaks, the way he moves, and there's a particular word or phrase he would choose to emphasize on, and some parts he would dip down a bit, and when he looks away and looks back at you, it's beautiful. This guy, he played this thing so well.
Don't you worry, I'll come back.
No.
I always do.
No, don't leave me.
See that part? I always do. This dude is good.
Please, no. Don't abandon me.
Oh man, this woman, you are finished. You are so cooked.
See, that's what the problem was.
This part had me laughing.
You're not him.
Well, duh.
So you know your eyes are open. It's now cool. So when he was eating a human head in front of you and took like 3 or 4 chunks, granted the human head is your husband or technically ex-husband that he's eating a part of his head. 3 to 4 huge chunks. You didn't click that this is not my daddy. It's now. What did he do? What magic did he? Did his eyes glow purple and pink?
What do you mean by that?
Like her daddy didn't like pink or didn't like purple, and then she realized, oh, my daddy never used purple eye contacts or pink eye contacts. Why is it now? This particular second, you now realize, oh, you're not my daddy. She should have got the biggest backhand. The biggest backhand. If that brother found out that she tipped off the freaking police officer and to cause the black dot thing, I wonder what he would do.
That's a good question.
You know how dark this bitch is. That means she didn't even really like the brother.
No shit.
She chose to do what she chose to do, knowing he was single. She didn't go after Halloran or what's his name, Will's father. She chose to go after this brother who she knows is single. And it feels like she's been planning this bit by bit, setting it up from the beginning, step by step.
I don't know.
When we found out that he was going to Shawshank, we didn't see her worried about that. Like in her own home or in her own private space in the bedroom or at Juniper Hill. Like she didn't have, when you just talk out loud like, oh, there's a friend of mine who's in so much trouble that I wish I could help them, without saying the gender. I wish I could help them, but I can't. There was no sign of remorse, like talking to herself, wishing she could do something to help this person that she feels she's close to. So only to fast forward to now, when Will's mother came to help him, and she asked, this is Wicked Witch of the West ain't got nothing on her.
What?
What a cold-hearted bitch.
Get this man shit.
Now she's like, oh my God, you're not him. My daddy wore what you call it? Burberry. You're wearing Tommy Hilfiger. You fool. What did you smell that made you realize it's not him? He was eating a human head. It took 3 to 4 chunks from this human head, and you looked at it as, my daddy, I guess, new diet. My daddy is now into new things. First he was a vegan, now he's eating human head. Is that normal to you? You broken-minded bitch.
Tired of this shit.
You are not my father.
Really?
What have you done with him?
I ate him.
See, Pennywise is laughing. Like, is laughter a thing that is like universal, meaning it's not from our dimension. It's a higher dimension entity. So humor seems to carry over beyond this, so that we in the 3rd dimension. So let's say it's from the 5th dimension or 6th dimension, because it understands humor. So it knows, is it emulating humor, or is it really finding this whole thing funny as an entity, not as an entity wearing the skin of Pennywise? Is it really finding this thing funny as a 5th dimensional entity?
Oh, what still lives inside of me.
So it knows mockery. Anything negative in this orderly, for sure. It's mocking her. It's getting her pissed off. Everything.
Yes, he does. I can feel him right now. Yes.
Stop.
He's reaching out for his baby girl.
This dude is good. Skarsgård? I was already fine with the different forms of the entity that it was taking to scare the children in the first 3 to 4 episodes. And I wasn't really looking forward to or excited about him taking this form as a final form. I'm surprised it chose this form. I'm still not fully grasping why this form. Even though people have said online when I've watched different videos, it's the easiest form not to scare children or adults. But if you can shapeshift, you can shapeshift into anyone, a police officer, a general, or a delivery guy, milk, pizza delivery guy, milk delivery guy, whatever, anyone who the public trusts. And there's no circus in town, so you can just come and go as you please. So I've never fully grasped the reason it shapeshifts into like it sticks to Pennywise's form and doesn't change after. It doesn't only go after children; it goes after adults as well. Yes, children, but mainly children. Some adults. It doesn't seem to have one specific preference. So with the interchanging of going after children and adults, it's never seen or shown shape-shifting into a trusted person when it's going after adults. It just seems to present itself as is. I would like to see someone do a deep dive on its intelligence as well. How smart or how intelligent is this entity? Because if from how I'm comprehending what I'm looking at, it knows when it appears. It must know that when it appears like this as an adult, like this to adults, it must know its appearance will have those adults perplexed and confused and puzzled, rather than appearing as someone who's pleasing or someone who is who is easily welcomed into the house. And I granted this isn't like a vampire where I need permission to enter your house, but unless let me see, unless it chooses to make them feel uncomfortable or a little perplexed, and that adds into the fear factor because they're unsure. Then the thing is, what do you want to do with your prey? And that's another thing I didn't like about this particular episode. The way he ate that head, took 2 to 3 bites and then just tossed it away. I was like, dude, I don't understand what you're doing. How do you eat? Do you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner and then snacks in between? Do you have like a meal prep? Like, at 2 a.m. you feel like having a Chinese a boy or girl. And do you specify in genders as well? Because everybody's gonna get it, right?
That's right.
It's got bodies floating there in its ring of death, whatever thing. How often do you eat? You just have, it's like it just enjoys the carnage and the disorder and all the disharmony. That's it. It doesn't seem to eat to be satisfied. It doesn't, to me anyway. Not to me. It seems to just leave pieces here and there. It's a very messy eater. It's not coordinated. It's not a clean. When I say messy, it doesn't eat whole. It just takes off an arm. I feel like having a Chinese arm today. Oh, look, there's a black boy over there. Let me just go bite its head off. Oh, look, there's a Puerto Rican girl. Let me go bite her left foot. Oh, look, there's a Filipino boy again. Let me bite his waist. What are we doing? This seems, when he just tossed the head, I'm like, dude, you didn't even finish. You'd have opened your whole thing is, your whole MO is shapeshifting. Why didn't you just make your head huge and swallow the head whole? Like, how does your digestive system work? You just bite and that's it, or you just want to nibble. So it's not even you want to eat, you just nibble. Pennywise the Nibbler. That scene really got on my nerves. I'm not saying I want to watch an entity eat a whole head, but don't throw the freaking thing away. At least swallow it down.
What does that mean?
For an entity that's beyond our dimension, it has to have some level of knowledge, wisdom. Like if it ended up in Kemet, surely it would know how to read the hieroglyphs. Surely it knows how to speak multiple languages. I think that would be cool if it spoke, if we caught it in a different part of the world, speaking the language to its prey. That would be so epic. Without any flaws or mistakes or hindrances. You'd probably be able to tell someone the language you're currently speaking is improper or incorrect. This is the original language made by your people because they'd have fed on multiple people. Yo, and can it draw information from someone without having to feed on them, without having to eat them?
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Like, does it only know what it needs to know? No, because it's a psychic entity, so it can get into your head without having to eat them. So yeah, it can tap into the mind.
No shit.
See, it knows what it's doing. It's torturing her. Again, I get that's a part of the whole thing. More fear, anger, anything, any emotion that will add to causing more fear or add to seasoning the flesh, I guess. But it lives within all those nuances of the not so pleasant emotions. That was, they did a great job on that one. And the sound effect too. Yo, the people who sat down in the studio and said, yeah, we need to find a way to make a sound or to give sound cues as to when it's doing the deadlights, when it appears, even when it appeared with the cleaver over its shoulder, beautiful. I was like, yeah, I'm glad to see that son of a bitch got his head chopped off like that. I was hoping he would take down more of them, but I still need comeuppance, man. I need some form of retribution for all the people who are responsible for that black spot death. To sit down, to stand outside willingly, freely, confidently, and comfortably to light alcohol, and they knew there were children in there.
No, God!
When they walked in, or they could see their mask, when you wear the mask, it blocks your eyesight. They walked in and saw 3 to 4 children in there. They saw the guy they were looking for, and his daughter. They saw him push the daughter back, saying, "No, let me come through." I can just about see people arguing online. If only the brother just let them take what do you mean let them? That's how you cash people out who talk like that. Yeah, if only they just let them, none of this would have happened. Yeah, that's, if you hear those people, pay attention. This bitch had the balls to call the police officer and say, yeah, I'm here to give you a tip. I think he's hiding out at the black spot. What a cruel, evil bitch.
That's what I'm talking about.
Evil bitch. You're not my daddy.
Are you not entertained?
Daddy? What a fucking fool. She has to suffer, man. Many lives have been lost, especially the innocent children she's been feeding this thing, only to orchestrate this whole... Do you know what it is to sit down? She's as bad as the people. In fact, she's worse.
You serious?
She's worse than the fucking cunts who stood there with guns and lit bottles, fire-lit bottles. He's worse. Because she's been at this shit since she was, whatever age she was, giving children freely, willingly. And anybody who's low-key trying to use excuses, say, you know, Pennywise has been at Derry for a while, so he's been in the waters, he's been in the air they breathe, he's been in the cigarette they smoke, he's been in the corned beef meat that they eat, he's been in the turkey, he's been in the potatoes and the rice that they cook. If you're already rotten inside, it's easier for him to enter your system. So we can say Pennywise just already added, or just he just turned what was already in there. Now we don't know if the Native Americans also went through a phase of massacre and whatnot. The word, I guess you could say, because of the crystal that they were holding on to, it couldn't influence them in that way. There was no scene where the Native Americans massacred themselves or massacred brown people or Africans or African Americans or Mexicans. There was no tale where the Native Americans were influenced by Pennywise or Gulu and started causing carnage across the freaking nation. There's no tale whatsoever. When it come to these douchebags, this one is actually giving innocent children to this monster. Then it took how many years? How many years? So you're not my daddy. You're not him. What? A minute ago, this guy was eating on your ex-husband's head. He took 4 chunks, 4 heavy bites, like it's a burger. He crushing bones like it's biscuit bone. And you looked at that and you were okay with it because you want your daddy. Yo.
Come on, son.
Even if you want to say, well, the ex-husband did used to beat on her, you can use all your excuses all you want. The first day, Pennywise ate that little child in front of her, saw the whole pool of blood reach her feet. Regular people would have self-terminated. Regular people would have self-terminated. But this mother effer here said, nah, that's daddy right there. Let me go get him some more girls so I can see daddy again. You are broken.
He ain't lying.
And we can't even say, oh, Pennywise had a hold on her, because whatever hold he had on her, it broke. Why did he choose to break today? Or because he was going to slumber? Excuses. This bitch is a bitch. This is the wicked witch of fucking Derry. This bitch is a bitch.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
I knew death would come. I knew pain would come. I knew fear. I knew suffering. You knew people would burn. You know children were in that building and you were fine with it because you wanted to see daddy. If she has to suffer in the last episode, man, she better get her ass beat.
Damn.
She gotta get her ass fucked over.
Damn.
Nah. We can't allow that kind of shit. Wicked people using the excuse of the devil and temptation. This is vile. In fact, on the chart of villains in this show, Pennywise is obviously number 1. She's number 2. The general is number 3. The general is definitely number 3, but she's definitely number 2 because you were in cahoots with this putrid creature. Then it just took now for your eyes to just apparently open. What the hell opened your eyes today after you fed this thing children? Innocent children. Even if they're naughty children, you give this thing children?
Stanley.
Look at, she's walking right now and then she's looking at that building, talking to this idiot Stanley. Bear in mind, in that building, people are dying. She must be aware that people are not only dying in there or have already died, and she just waltzed there, waiting, having a conversation with this punk. Hey, her mind is finished. Her soul is cooked.
What the hell are you wearing?
This is me, Stanley.
Who gives a shit?
This is who I really am.
In fact, she's telling the truth because you're presenting yourself dressed up like that. Whilst there are people dying, and you know children enter this building. If not 1 but 2. You know the man you were sleeping with behind your husband's back. Oh, she found love in the black man because the husband wasn't treating her right. You are a bitch. You've been playing games, girl. Been playing games. Do you know how his daughter is in that room, in that house there, and you are satisfied? This is who I really am. In fact, she's telling the truth. You're a broken bitch.
Black and blue is what you're gonna be if you don't get back to the house and wipe this ridiculous crap off your face.
Fucking scumbag. Look at all of them. and smile at you and act like it's all gravy, baby, but they're willing to just lie you. There's certain things I don't condone. Like I said when I was doing my watch reaction, I don't kill bugs anyhow. I don't kill a spider when I see a spider. I used to, but nowadays, no. What am I doing just killing a creature just because it's there and pop at the slippers? No. But this dude stood there with a mask on, shook one though. If you knew you were going to do this, you should have taken your mask off. All these bitches had their mask on because they're afraid of this societal repercussion. That's what they're more afraid of. Not even God's punishment or the angels will send you to hell or God wouldn't like that. He said, no. We're worried about being pegged in public. How does that even make any sense? You're worried about your society, your neighborhood pointing out like if some of them survived. Oh, it was him. The funny thing is, people will be less likely to believe the black man in Derry because there's more Caucasians in Derry than there are black people, but they still had their mask on. That psychology is weird. You're afraid of being called out by people you're about to kill. Do you know what it is to mull over death? Because they were at the bar, drinking or not, smoking weed or not, whether they were high off dickhead or high off we don't care, whatever they were high off of, they all collectively chose to say, you went to go and buy. Did they buy the mask? Where did they go? Oh, one of them was a store owner and opened the store and just took the mask. To do that is intention. That is, you are willing and ready. That's a set intention. To walk into an army base or army, is it reserve or a space where there are soldiers there. You don't know if they have ammo or not. You don't know if they have guns or not. But you walked in with this hubris like, yeah, we're going to point guns at them. And when they then brought their guns out, that's when their minds are like, okay, maybe we should change tactics. We don't want to get shot. That's that weakness and fear. But it didn't click fully because the way they still had their guns pointed after the brother soldiers brought their guns out. You know when you walk into a space like that and you see someone also has a gun pointed at you, you must have it in your head that you're going to win that gunfight because you're not willing to die for the cause right now. This isn't, it doesn't matter what happens as long as they die as well. This is, I want to kill them and then escape or leave scot-free without even being touched or harmed. There's something in the brain to think or to feel or to think that you and I are going to be in a shootout and we're all going to get you. You might hit me, but I know I'm going to walk out of here alive. That is a special kind of fucked upness in your mind, a special kind. I don't think they sell those kind of fucked up mindset in a shop. That's a special delivery. Now, granted, they all had shotguns and rifles, but just to think I won't get clipped once by a bullet is something amazing and not in a good way. Then they thought, no, instead of killing people, even though they wanted to kill them, I wonder where the switch changed to, no, we'll burn them alive instead. But they still shot them.
This is just a moment.
This one said, I want to see my daddy.
Hello, Papa.
What a fool.
What?
Sound effect again. The sound effects, the sound guys, sound department, when it depends on when they introduce him, they do a good job. Just because the sound sounds so off kilter. You're like, yeah, they sat down to find a way. Like the deadlights thing, that sound effect is a prominent one.
Who the hell are you?
So satisfying.
He ain't lying.
Although I wanted him to suffer more, but satisfying.
Wow, you are mean.
Right now, it's taking a lot of chunks from her ex-husband's head. And she can see it. She can see it, but I'm not even too surprised, to be honest, because she right now having a conversation with this entity who she thinks is her father, whilst their bodies in front of her in that building burning right now because of what she did. She called and gave a tip. If she didn't do it, it'd have been okay. But you chose to do this. Ah, my goodness, man.
I knew they would come if they thought that he was here, and there would be blood and pain and fear.
Whilst she's still eating her ex-husband's head.
And I knew that you wouldn't be able to resist it, and you would come back, and you would tell me that I was good.
Yeah, this bitch snapped. This bitch snapped long time ago. And it's a shame. Yeah. It's a shame because a lot of innocent people have died. A lot of innocent children have died thanks to this bitch.
That's what the problem was.
Show me the bow.
All this mannerism, you're doing all this bar, you're blowing horn. People are cooking inside, they're dying. Yeah.
Come to Papa.
Oh, Papa, I love you.
You did good. You did very, very good.
This guy is good.
What?
I don't even know who I'm complimenting, either Pennywise or Skarsgård. Good. Very, very good.
You ain't lying.
And now this motherfucker is out of his cage. And I didn't understand that part as well because it said it was going to slumber, going to sleep, and it'll come back again. So why does it sleep every 27 years or 29 years? But as soon as they removed one pillar from its cage, it then came out of its very short slumber. So is it because of the cage it sleeps 29 years? And would the Native Americans have known this? Because I wonder if they can tighten the cage and then it would have less time on Earth or on Derry. Meaning that the closer the cage, the less time it has to cause damage on the town. Surely that makes sense, right? The wider the cage, the longer it spends to feast on the children and anyone. So basically, right now, it's got 20-something years based on the current circumference or cage that's around it. So the wider, then the longer it spends in Derry. And then the narrower or tighter, the less time it spends in Derry. That's got that. I think that logic makes sense, right?
Yes.
Anyway, I'm Adi. Let me go do some edits and get my dinner ready.
Woo!
I've of course been your one and only Multipotentialite, Neurodivergent host.
The Kosmic Jedi signing out. Thank you for watching.